Hi, my name is Vinny Lingham. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Gyft.com, a mobile gift card platform. So when I did the first season of Dragons Den, I did about 10 deals on the show, and I quickly realized that I needed to support the entrepreneurs and ensure that they are well taken care of. And because I live in Silicon Valley all the time, I only come back once or twice a year. It was very important that there was some sort of organization that could support them. So along with one of my former business partners, Luke Clarkson, we set up this company, Newtown Partners. It's just really a seed investment fund, and essentially what we do is we invest in companies. So we've done about 13 or 14 investments to date in that company, and we lose on the ground in Cape Town ensures that the entrepreneurs that are invested in South Africa get supported very well. So in Silicon Valley, what makes companies really capital efficient is that they're able to pay people in equity and stock for the work that they do on a day-to-day basis and give them upside in the companies. And in South Africa, that just doesn't happen. So we don't get people willing to take shares in companies willingly. They're more lean towards cash. The problem is that you're not creating wealth for people, and therefore the wealth cycle doesn't reinforce itself. These are, in Silicon Valley, people who worked at Facebook or Uber, they start their own companies again with the capital they made from there, and then they start the cycle again. So entrepreneurship, where wealth is spread, reinforces more entrepreneurship, which is good for the overall ecosystem. And so, chatting to Lou about it, and obviously he's on the ground with entrepreneurs day to day, there was a realization that only 8% of companies give equity to employees in South Africa, where the numbers are probably closer to 95% in Silicon Valley. So we got to figure out how to bridge that gap, and so Lou's taken upon himself to go in and push the agenda of creating an employee share option program that companies can use that's very cost effective, and it's basically just a trust that Newtown Partners administers and pushes to companies who want to give employees shares in a way which is very cost effective and easy to manage. So last year I was part of the Simodisa program. I was one of the judges, and I spotted these two really hardworking, passionate entrepreneurs, sold their house, sold their car, lifeblood into the company, and they were building a tech platform called Sweep South, which basically allowed you to call on a maid when you needed one and then have it delivered to your door, literally. And they've done a fantastic job of building up the platform. The technology is great. The team was amazing. Their growth rate's been astounding. And we invested in them before they really had nothing. I mean, they hadn't even really launched yet. So we basically took an early seed position in the company. We put some funding in, helped them get off the ground, helped them get started, and it's been a phenomenal success. And I think Lou in particular on the ground has really worked with Aisha and Alan to build their company, and they've just recently got into 500 startups. So it's been a great success out of the Newtown Partners portfolio. Again, we take early seed positions, a couple $100,000 rand in general into a company, and we just ensure that the entrepreneurs get that kickstart to get going. But they actually met the criteria for what we think of as a good investment company. They had a technical co-founder, someone who would write the code 18, 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, not an outsourced arrangement. We had a great business partner as well in a co-founder. So, we look for technical and a business co-founder and people who are willing to just work together, blood, sweat and tears, build a business. And those are the types of people we want to back. And Sweep South's been an amazing success so far. Simon and Roy are pretty infectious entrepreneurs. What they've done really well is get a whole bunch of pretty good investors to back them. We're part of a broader syndicate. This is one of the deals for Newtown where it was already happening. They already raised some funding. They had a lot of interest, and they were able to accommodate a small investment from us. And we've been pretty excited about what we've done so far. And it's great to see guys trying out new business models and new ideas, and potentially being in a very disruptive part of the transportation industry. When you're looking to pitch, there's a couple of things. We have a book coming out called I'm In, written by the Dragons, the 5 Dragons and Dragons Den. That's coming out in October. It'll be in stores in October, so look out for that book. I also recommend a book called The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. Fantastic book, helps you think about how to take an idea, validate the concepts, and build it up slowly. You should read it twice. And you should definitely get yourself, if you're interested in building a technology company, if you're not a techie yourself, you need to have a co-founder who both you and them are willing to go into a venture full-time, 100% of the time, take the risks, sell your cars, use Uber, rent an apartment, blood, sweat, and tears. And hopefully you're in your 20s, early 20s, and you can take these risks because you don't have a family to support, etc. Now is the time to take the risks. If you're young, take the risks, fail, start again. I'm more inclined to invest in people who start a company and fail. In company I failed, I learned this is my new idea. Can I go and build a business? I'm more inclined to invest in those people because they show me that they're willing to take risks, they're willing to build a company, they're not scared about, you shouldn't be scared of failure. Failure is fine. I mean, I failed plenty of times in my life with business ventures. So it's okay to fail, but you need to learn from the failure, otherwise you will not, well, what's the point? If you don't learn from failure, then you can fail 1,000 times, you won't get better. I think the SA tech scene's got a shortage of both funders and good ideas. I don't think it's limited to one or the other. So if I look at the tech scene, there's enough angel investors. If the idea is really good, it will get funded, at least at the angel seed stage. And if they're able to prove out the model and show traction, you'll definitely get a Series A term sheet. You just have limited options. So right now the focus is going to be on quality because we just don't have enough funders to drive quantity through. So again, the great entrepreneurs, the Aisha Pandoras of the world and Alan Rubik's of the world, the Sweep South, they'll get funding. And some of the other people who don't really have the idea fleshed out properly, they don't have traction, they don't have the right technical skills, they won't get funding. So it's just, unfortunately, I believe the filter is too tight right now because it's just funding only the best stuff. It's not giving people who might be there a chance, but we'll get there. And the hope is that, second generation entrepreneurs. So, I'm like a second generation. So I started my first company here, I made some money out of it, I invested into other entrepreneurs. Again, Alan and Aisha, when they're successful, they'll probably do the same thing. So you need to create this cascading effect of entrepreneurs investing in the next generation entrepreneurs. If you look at the South African tech sector, I think there's a lot of opportunity for homegrown solutions that have limited scale opportunities globally, but serve a need locally. And if you can deliver that service profitably, that's a good thing to do. There are opportunities to do things on a national scale, international scale, but again, competition is really hard. So if you don't have the funding gates in place to assist you, you won't get there. So I always advise entrepreneurs, dominate one local market, understand your business, and then launch from there. And don't have aspirations to be internationally competitive from day one because there's such an untapped market here and there's so many market needs. And if you can deliver those solutions in a capital efficient way, you'll make a lot of money for yourself and your investors.